In this video, we're going over the pros and cons to limited time game modes in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, at least for me, some of the best times I've ever had over my 3 years of playing Siege are in the limited time game modes, with my absolute favorite one being Doctor's Curse in October last year. These game modes bring some very fresh and interesting new ways to play the game we all love. Now let's be honest here, Siege gets stale at times, and whenever one of these modes comes out, it brings some fresh gameplay for the players. So there is a problem throughout the community with these modes. In fact, there's one word that almost everyone hates when talking about it. The word that everyone hates is limited. It does seem kind of odd that Ubisoft would dump so much time, money, and resources developing these amazing game modes only for them to be ripped away in less than a month. Take Operation Outbreak for example. That felt like a whole new game rather than a little game mode. I mean, they had to do so much with that. Whole new character models, animations, maps, sounds, music, and so much more. It honestly shocked me when Ubisoft stated that even a project as massive as Outbreak was still a limited time game mode. So there must be a logical reason why these game modes have the word limited in front of them, right? Well, let's try and find out why Ubisoft does this. Let's first talk about how much hype gets built up in the community with the release of these modes. It seems like the whole player base races to the game and checks out what is new for them to experience. Almost every Siege content creator then goes to work pumping out videos of all kinds covering the modes as well, building up even more hype. Then something happens about 5 to 7 days into the release of the limited time mode. People stop playing. People stop playing the new mode after they've already got a few hours into it and pretty much consumed all the content that was there. Then they queue back into a ranked match to further the spiraling depression that is ranked in Rainbow Six Siege. You can even see this happen too. The longer the game mode has been released, the longer the queue times are. So maybe Ubisoft knows that hype will eventually die down and not many people will be hopping in the new game mode anymore. That could be a possibility. Now, another topic I wanted to bring up is how there is a split in the player base anytime one of these modes comes out. You have the mass amount of people hopping into the new modes rather than playing ranked, unranked, quick match, or newcomers. There are already 4 quote-unquote game modes in Siege. The majority of the player base resides in casual, then it's ranked, then it's unranked, and finally newcomers. So let's cover ranked for a second. Ranked already has an average of like 1 minute and 30-second queue times when I queue up in platinum lobbies on Northeast servers in the United States. Ranked already has these tiny gaps in MMR that allow you to either queue up or play with or against the same skill level of players in Siege. A gold theoretically should never hop in a match with a bronze or diamond who is also solo queuing. Now, I understand smurfing is a problem, but that's another topic for another video. Anyways, you could kind of lump a ranked into a multiple group of players too. Say when a new game mode comes out and everyone is playing it. What if like 80% of the players who are plat are playing the new game mode and not ranked? Now me and the other 20% of platinums that are trying to play ranked can't find any games, or it takes significantly longer to find one. That's the problem with splitting the player base across too many game modes. Now let's take Call of Duty for example. If you ever played COD, which I'm assuming most of you have because it's insanely popular, then you know that they have a ton of game modes with every single game. But since COD is an annual title, meaning a new game comes out every single year, most of the player base moves on to the new COD, leaving a small number in the dust for the old game. That small number is practically forced to play only popular game modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, and stuff like that if they want to find a match. Now, Siege is nothing like COD and is a live service game that's been going on for 5 years now, but it is very true here as well, especially in the really low or high ranks in the ranked playlists where the amount of players is lower. The problem that the community has with these game modes is why they're limited time and they're not in the game permanently. Well, I don't actually know this answer, to be honest. If anyone can find a developer of Ubisoft covering this topic in an interview or whatever, comment down below so we can check it out. My best bet is what we already covered. The hype for the new game will die down and not many people will play it anymore, leading to a dead playlist. Or the split in the community will negatively impact the ranked playlist as well. Now, I think those are the 2 leading options of why these are limited time game modes and they don't stay permanently in the game. Now, I know we went over a bunch of cons for these limited time game modes, but what are the pros for them? Well, first, this goes without saying, but they bring some really nice and fresh ways to play the game. Now, I already brought up Doctor's Curse once in this video, but like there is nothing anywhere else like that in Siege. Siege. It was absolutely incredible when that game mode was out. And the Showdown game mode, where you were set in a 3v3 match in a small old western map, the only weapons at your disposal were the Boss G and the LFP 586 pistol. And as of June 2020, the last limited time game mode that we've had so far is Grand Larceny Event, where they took Hereford Base back to its roots and made the destruction really just out of control. All players had only shotguns, but these shotguns were able to put massive holes in the walls and the floors, but the floors didn't have the steel beams like it does on every single map, so you were actually able to fall through these floors and look up in the ceiling, and it led to some really hilarious gameplay. All these really good game modes had new ways to play the game, but still made it feel like Siege at the same time. Again, we talked about the hype that they bring in the player base earlier in the video, but what if we can use the same hype from these game modes to bring players into Siege? Well, Ubisoft has actually already done this to an extent. Remember the game mode Money Heist, where they had the new skins on Only Hostage for Bank? I mean, it was a terrible game mode. You only got 2 skins for Habana and Vigil, and it played almost exactly like how any hostage would play on Bank, and there really wasn't that much they did with the game mode, but it did have a lot of potential. And it also paved the way for companies to partner with Ubisoft and make some really cool themed game modes. Now, one game that does this extremely well is Fortnite. They have completely nailed it by bringing in players with their new game modes. Remember when Avengers Infinity War came out and they added a mode where you can become Thanos if you got the Infinity Gauntlet? Say what you want about Fortnite, but that was absolutely game changing. It was honestly groundbreaking to have a massive movie studio and a massive gaming studio at the same time partner together to both promote their products. They did it again when Avengers Endgame came out too. They also teamed up with the juggernaut of Star Wars and added in lightsabers, blasters, and sweet skins. Now, what if Rainbow Six Siege can do stuff like this as well? Now, I doubt that Siege will ever be able to get a deal with like Marvel or Star Wars that Epic Games and Fortnite did, or maybe some other movie companies, or any company for that matter, may be willing to make a deal. Now, give me some cool ideas for game modes that you guys would love to see added to the game. I might make a new series on this channel covering this, so if you want to submit an idea for a new game mode in Siege, then make sure to comment down below or send me an Instagram message. You can even join the Discord server and submit one over there too. Like seriously guys, I'm trying to come up with a new couple series on this channel. Now, I actually have a new series in the works as well. The new series I'm working on right now is I want you guys, the community, to send me your brand new elite skin ideas for your favorite operators. It doesn't matter if this operator has a skin or not. I want you guys to come up with a really cool, really funny elite skin idea for your favorite operator. You can also send submissions for those as well on my Instagram, Discord, or YouTube comment section. And you guys will also get bonus points and might have a better chance of getting in a video. If you send me artwork along with the elite skin idea, your chances of getting a video are increased a lot. So yeah, I have 2 things I want you guys to do. I want you to send me ideas for new game modes that you would love to see in Siege, and try to come up with as many details with it as you can, like how would it play, what kind of theme we're going on there. Send me those for a new series I want to do, and then also the elite skin one I want you to do as well. So yeah, you guys have a lot of homework to do. Well, that's all I got for you. Now it's your turn to tell me something. Do you like the limited time game modes, or do you not really care for them? You can let me know by leaving a comment down below. Now, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. Now, with all that being said, Jeppy out!